in a meta defined and dominated by Cybertronian legends. And apparently hold the line? How exactly did that happen? One bot and one battle card stand poised to turn the tide.
Wait, not you. Wrong game, fool. Get out of here. All right, let's try this again. Welcome back, everyone, to Random's Thoughts. It's been a little bit of time since I delved into the world of Transformers. Well, I guess at least cardboard Transformers. Although Wizards and COVID did their best to turn the Transformers in TCG into that one scene from the '86 movie, the game is in fact alive and well thanks to groups such as the Alpha Trion Protocols. So first of all, I want to say thank you to the ATP team for giving me the opportunity to have not one, but two spoilers that we can share with you today. As mentioned earlier, it's been a little bit of time since I talked about the game, so grain of salt and all. It's not unlike me looking like that guy over there. I've been lurking around, but we're going to go with some hot takes for these ones. Now, we do have, of course, well, you can kind of see it up there in the corner, a couple cards here, one of which, as sort of alluded to by Rain showing up in the intro, is one of the purple team members. But we'll get to him. First, we're going to talk about the battle card. Leading off with Into the Fray feels somewhat appropriate. It's a new secret action that's getting introduced, as I understand it, to help address some things that are going on in Junkion. So what is Into the Fray? As mentioned, a secret action. It's revealed when one of your tapped characters defends, and when it's revealed, your opponent flips. If your opponent flips at least 3 orange pips this battle, the defender gets +3 defense until end of turn. Otherwise, the defender gets +1 defense until end of turn. Initial reaction is I love the fact that it's going to do something positive for you no matter what. Obviously, you're going to be including this when you're expecting specific matchups. And I think we can all imagine that there's a variety of bold opponents or bold-based opponents where this is going to see play, whether it's bold directly or it's a plethora of white pips. It hasn't been that uncommon throughout the game's history to hit triple orange. +3 defense is not something to sneeze at. That wipes out those 3 aforementioned orange pips. It's a pretty significant amount, and I would imagine that this is going to be pretty powerful. Now, understandably, it does not feature a defensive pip. That's kind of what you'd expect for something that could potentially swing things so drastically. It, in fact, is an orange pip. If we saw this as blue, I would, even though it's been a while, I would immediately start scratching my head and go, wow, that seems pretty powerful. So I'm pretty excited about this one. I think there's going to be a number of players that are going to be excited as well. But wait, there's more. Remember that Skywarp we talked about? Let's talk a little bit about that. But before we do, this it's too hot in this thing. I can't wear this the whole time anymore. It's been a little while since I had to wear that thing for an extended period of time. So let's dive into Skywarp. We're actually going to start with the alt mode of Skywarp Troublesome Teleporter. I already love the subtitle for this. It's very thematic, and we'll get to that later. But he's a Seeker, he's a Plane, he's ranged. He's also a 4/9/1 for 6 stars, which immediately doesn't set the world on fire for me. But let's take a look at the text box. In his alt mode, your starting star limit increases by 1 for each Seeker that has at least 10 stars on your starting team. Oh, and by the way, he also has bold 1. So this actually turns out to, at least on the surface, appear to be a lot of stuff going on for what is essentially a 5-star character. Now, if any of you recall way back when, I kind of have a thing for reducing, or in this case, I guess, increasing the star limit. In my brain, it's always reducing the stars required, but whatever. We all know where it's going. Point is that this allows you to play around with a variety of different configurations as long as you can ensure that you have one of the Seekers that are currently featured in the ATP environment and they're at least 10 stars starting on your team. The shenanigans, of course, don't stop there, but I don't want to delve into all the secrets. We'll leave that up to the community to discover and to play around with. There are a number of different configurations you now have an opportunity to field because of the cost reduction, well, the star reduction, including extra star cards in your build. So I'm excited to see what people come up with. Now we'll transition or transform into talking about Skywarp Troublesome Teleporter's bot mode. He loses his plane trait, but of course keeps Seeker in range. It's going to be important momentarily. He's a 4/9/2 now, so an increase in defense, but he now features a revenge ability, which I personally love. Again, we'll talk about that momentarily. You move up to 1 damage from each of your Seekers on the battlefield to an enemy. Revenge is not an ability that shows up very commonly. It was originally featured with some of Soundwave's minions, but it never really got the inertia behind it, I think, at least in my experience, to actually really be a thing. I mean, you can make a weird argument that Quake builds were really revenge builds because Quake was kind of sort of adding revenge to all your guys, but that gets really complicated and weird, so we're going to put that aside. In talking about Skywarp, I think this revenge ability is really cool. It's super thematic because planes have always had this bombing run sort of flavor to them, and to be honest, it reminded me of some ancient, archaic memes. So who wins in a fight? The existing meta or one purple teleporty boy? I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure. I think this guy is very cool. There's a lot of potentially interesting things that could happen either just from a team build perspective or with shenanigans such as I Still Function and abusing the revenge ability. Spoiler, that's probably where I would personally go with it, but that's just me. I think Skywarp does some really cool things and definitely brings a lot to the table. So I'm very excited to see where the players take this and what builds end up manifesting that feature our Troublesome Teleporter. So let me know, do you think that this guy is going to cause trouble for the meta, or do you think he's going to fall by the wayside? Again, I want to say thank you to the Alpha Triumph Protocols for giving me these previews. It was very much appreciated. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and Black Lives Matter.